So we're having one of those late winter, mid February weekends where it's hitting about 60 degrees, sunny, blue skies, really make you feel like getting out in the garden. And as much progress as we've been making, I have to acknowledge we're probably further ahead than we have been for the first 2 years of the project. This is year three. Uh, we still feel really behind. I think when you're going through November, December, January, you just feel like, oh, I can't wait, to get for the season to get started, and you feel like you're going to be all prepared. And then the days start rolling in, and you miss some of your planting goals, and you have some beds that you still need to get ready. You have pruning to do, plants to divide, everything else. So lots and lots to do, but we're going to make some progress today. A bunch of things that I'm trying to get done. One is getting a propagation area. Last year we were doing hardwood cuttings in pots, and that was kind of a pain to keep them dry. You could only fit so many in a pot, so there's a bunch of different pots, and then taking them and managing all that. So I want to do some proper propagation cutting beds uh, pretty soon. I don't know if I'll get to that today, and then we can do our cuttings, put them in a bucket of water, and then take them straight to a propagation bed. The other thing I want to do is get into our tunnel here and get those beds cleaned up. We're ready to start planting some early spring vegetables like lettuce. We'll probably do a round of peas. These are all going to be pretty quick turnaround crops because the goal is to put tomatoes and peppers and other heat lovers in that tunnel. But we probably won't be doing that till um, mid April, maybe even early May. So we actually have quite a bit of time still from mid February to mid April for getting some lettuce, spinach, and that kind of thing going in the tunnel and get some value out of there and get some of that early food going on the farm. So there's that. I have a whole row of cedar trees here. Those need to get either moved or planted out. I want to return that bed to being a bed where we're doing annuals. We had originally did them there because at that stage of the project, we didn't really have a whole lot of other beds in place. Something we worked a lot on last year was getting bed locations prepped. A lot of those beds still need to get dug and kind of shaped, but the ground has been ripped with a ripping shank down about 24 inches, and cover crop. Some cover crop was put on there, and it's been fertilized. So that's been um, kind of underway. So there's that. I've got a blackberry patch that I'm doing on a hill. I'm going to do a video on that one, kind of how to make use of a slope. It's probably 35-degree slope or something like that. I could probably get an exact figure on that. Maybe I'll talk about that when I do the video. But we have a whole bunch of blackberries that have just been growing in pots that we want to get into the ground. So we have that to do. So there's just a bunch of things adding up. I have a huge list of plants I need to get planted for transplanting that need to go in now. Like the violas like to go in pretty early. I'm behind on some celery. So yeah, so I don't know how much I'm gonna kind of film of doing each of these things today, but I did want to kind of check in, tell you what I'm thinking about now, right in the middle of February, and what we're trying to get done. Propagation's a big one. One way that we've been saving money on this project is buying one or two of a plant and then being really proactive about propagating them. So that one plant in the first year might turn into 20 plants. Next year, you could have like 200, 300 plants, and then, it just goes up from there. So within 2, 3 years, you could have a tremendous number of plants available for a project. So we're doing 3.5 acres right now, or more cultivated acreage, and then we have a total of 20. And a lot of that's more wooded, but we're doing like native and some shade loving cultivation through the woods. doing things like mushrooms there. So if we were trying to do, buy all these plants from a nursery, um, you know, you'd be talking a ridiculous amount of money. We might be spending hundreds of thousands, if not more on plants. It adds up really quick. I can go to the nursery here and have a relatively small cart, and that comes out to $700. So when you're talking 20 acres of beds, cultivation either from seed, cutting, division, all those methods, it becomes really important. So yeah, so that's kind of what we're up to. Just wanted to do a quick check in because things have been so crazy. I haven't been able to get into as many of the how-to videos and whatnot, which are a little bit more intensive. But I did want to check in, talk about what we're thinking about, what we're trying to get done this time of year.